Hey everyone, I'm NATO King, this is Underhero, and today we're taking on another maze. As you might expect, this is going to be a pretty long video because the maze is really confusing. Despite what the ghost back at the bar in the castle said, I think this maze is even worse than the dark maze. And, of course, it being a longer video, my recording hardware decided to eat about the first 3 attempts that I made at it. And then the 4th one I recorded, I forgot to record the audio, so... This is probably about the 5th time that I've run this thing. But don't worry, I haven't really optimized the path all that much. Hey, welcome to my least favorite mechanic in the game. Climbing stuff. The issue that I have is that it's really hard, at least with the controller that I use, to hit straight up or down. So if I'm not using the directional pad, it's really tough to grab the ropes. And we get a new enemy to fight. Clearly, we don't want to touch the round pink fish. So yeah, we get one free hammer hit, but then the monkey starts moving a little too quickly for the hammer to be effective. And even really just charging the sword attack is risky. Well, that was a much smoother fight than most of them, and I can't get past that vine because it's covered in spikes. And there's the pink fish that I want to avoid. And I'll grab those coins on the way back. Obviously, we're coming back. I don't think we need to listen to the riddle again. So yeah, this is the maze. They've got helpful signposts all over the place at least. And a merchant, just in case we need to stock up on something. Frankly, I think we've got plenty of antidotes on hand. But you never know. If you're not very good at fighting, potion refills or a magic anvil might be needed. Now, for once, I didn't ask for Elizabeth's advice, she just pops out and gives it to you anyway. And I can't get past that vine either, so I'll have to go under the water. But that's easy enough. So basically, this is kind of what Sonic games look like to someone like me who doesn't play a lot of Sonic games. Well, level 1 sounds like the most sensible place to go first. And that sign will just tell us that it leads back to the entrance. So we'll take the high road again, because there's an enemy over here. Alright, well that's clearly a hint to the King of Peppers. We'll get rid of the shield and then worry about dealing with the spider. As usual, it's all about parrying its projectiles and managing to hit it. Well, blocked a little early, but that's not too much of a problem. I've got a pretty buffed out shield. And it's coming this way. Sweet. Alright, I'm gonna guess level 5 might not be the way that I want to go. And there's a trail of bones. That looks more like it. And level 2 is also a nice, sensible place to go after level 1. Obviously, the correct path is not going to take us to all the levels in numerical order. And that's what happens if you hit a fish. 1 HP damage and a chance to poison you, which isn't so bad because I picked up some extra antidotes, and there are going to be a ton in the cave. It seems like whatever is in the volcano isn't lava, and I'm surprised to discover that I don't actually have rush mode available here. I think the previous recordings I did when I got to this point, but either because I came here later or because I had done something differently in the previous recording and had accumulated rush mode that I don't have here. Meanwhile, I'm not doing so well. I really don't feel like using a potion in that particular fight. So, take 2. It occurs to me that if I talk to them, that would actually probably destroy that shield there. But no, we're gonna take this fight the intended way. Although I'm not sure I'm intended to get hit so much. Really, I just have no opportunity to fight back. I have to spend the entire time parrying these attacks. Or failing to parry them. I finally have rush mode. I could not find the beat. I'm not doing so well, and I think I'm losing hit points to the burn. I could heal the burn with a potion, but again, I'm almost done here. I just have to defeat this spider, and we're done. Alright, that was bad luck. Take 3. This time, I'm sure I've got it. This time they're kindly staggering their attacks so that I can parry each one in turn. That was simple enough. Dealing with one ought to be no problem. Now that was unfair. It shot twice at the same time. But that's okay, that's just 10 HP down, and I got it right back. And the reward? Extra health, which would have been nice going into that fight. I might have beaten Take 2 with 5 extra hit points. But, you know, my fault for not taking any health upgrades along the way. And the bones are clearly pointing down, so we'll just go straight to level 7. And the bones are obviously pointing in this direction. So let's check out this direction first. I think this is a dead end. Yeah, again, some slight optimizations from my previous runs of this maze. Not too worried about the couple of coins that fall down. I'll be catching up to them in due time. But I do want to make sure to get all the things that I have found over my multiple runs through here. I think my first time I actually missed something. Might have been that health upgrade that I just picked up. And we finally surface! There are lots of coins hidden behind these bushes, so you always gotta watch for those. Somehow I don't think this is the path to the King Pepper, because I didn't see any bones after that long skeleton, but we'll go this way anyway. We'll eventually have to explore everywhere. Yeah, see, I was just in level 7. Well, if you wanted a bribe, you should have thought of that before giving me the information. Now I'm afraid I'm going to have to kill you. And here's what happens if you get hit by the poo. So, Monkey has just stolen a bunch of my coins. Presumably it will eventually run away if I don't kill it quickly enough. But I've never actually seen that happen. It might be that it needs to hit me with a banana and trip me up. But I think it just dropped all the coins that it stole from me. And I get another level up! Definitely taking attack points this time. These fights are taking too long and I'm taking too many risks. Yeah, 33 coins. That's a lot for an enemy to drop. Unless it stole them all from me first. So this is kind of a neat feature of the jungle maze. You get to see other paths that you can't get to from where you are. And we're in level 3 now, with lots of different ways to go. It's nice that they scatter so many coins around this maze because they mark the directions you've already been. If you see coins, you know that you haven't been that way yet. And that's a nice loop, which is always good. It's nice to have a small enough loop that you can recognize it when you're in it, and not have to say, oh, wait, yeah, these are, like, the last 5 screens are familiar. And that's the other way that you can go from the entrance. So certainly we don't need to explore over there. We've already been to the entrance. Let's head down this way, because that looks like it goes... No, that's back to the loop again. Yeah, there we go. Dropped a potion. And I think this leads to the inside of a loop. No, that goes somewhere else. I don't think I want to go to level 4 right now. So even as many times as I've been through this maze, I'm still completely lost. Here we go. This is something I wanted to find. Yeah, admittedly, we can't do anything with the bomb peppers from here, but I certainly want to defeat this enemy. Alright, that was close. He almost didn't hit me. I should be able to get another hammer swing now, but I'm gonna take one more hit just to be safe. Oh yeah, I would have totally maxed out that rage meter otherwise. Now hopefully I'll get enough HP recovery after this fight to make up for all the hits I'm taking on purpose. We'll give it a go. And yeah. It's mad. And I whiffed that one. If you can land the pellet right on its butt while it's mad, you can distract it. And in one of the scrapped recordings, I might see if I can recover this for a bonus video. I actually managed to conduct a whole fight while it was mad just by repeatedly hitting it in the butt with my slingshot. Meanwhile, we're gonna continue down this path. This is the other side of what I saw when I was on the far side of that wall. Yeah, I know it's really hard to keep track. And also I don't know why that single coin is farther away from the vine, so you have to jump to get it. A lot of this stuff doesn't make much sense. Yeah, that's a hint at a secret path that kind of leads up to the top of these trees. The funny thing is, I'm pretty sure I'll end up hitting that path from the opposite side. And I've got enough stamina now to defeat a moth without it even attacking me. And after all this way, we just come to a dead end, but it has the green pepper that we need. The pepper collector was looking for that, along with the red and blue peppers. So we certainly needed to come that way, if nothing else. Now I think I'm ready to head on to level 4. There's nothing like missing one of those dead ends and then wandering around forever trying to find the path that you missed. Yeah, okay, that's a dead end, but I see a chest up there that I definitely want to try to get. Level 4 is kind of nice because most of the paths are all connected, so you don't have to go to some other level in order to find the thing that you're looking for. The downside is you won't stop spinning until you jump. So there's the only cassette tape I think that's hidden in a chest in this whole maze. There might be more for all I know, but we'll just keep taking these paths that lead toward the center. They should, for the most part, converge in dead ends. This one especially, I spotted this chest on the way in. And that's an apartment key. We definitely don't want to miss any of those. There's some money, and some more money off in that other dead end. And another path, and I saw a pepper tree on the far side of that wall. I'm not going to go to level 5 just yet. There was that coin that I missed in the dead end up here. And yet another chest. A whole bunch of good stuff in level 4. And I'm really, really bad at catching the coins. Can always use more money. Lots of expensive upgrades at the shop. And pretty soon I will need to start buying the HP upgrades because I'm taking a lot of damage. But finally we get to the pepper tree, and it's the red pepper. It's kind of nice. The first 2 peppers that I found are 2 of the ones that I actually need. There are some peppers that we don't need to get buried in this jungle. Of course I'm going to get them all, but we don't need them. Some kind of weird fork thingy over on the far side of this wall. And another path to level 5. 2 different ways to get to level 5 from level 4. This one I think is meant to be traversed the other way. We're supposed to use those vines to climb past the gorilla down there. But I'm still trying to use the analog stick, which doesn't end well. Alright, so let's try replicating that thing I was talking about. We just shoot the pellet at the maximum angle. And when he turns his back, we can smack him in the butt, except I don't have enough stamina left. I'm taking the hit. Alright. It was worth it. I got to demonstrate some stuff. And this should finish it off. Wait, I need that health. So you're supposed to come into this screen from the left side. And then make your way across the vines. It's probably slightly more annoying than it really needs to be. especially at some of these vines where it's not always obvious how you can actually get past them without hitting the spikes. I'm sure there is always a way to do it, because it'd be kind of ridiculous for there not to be, but sometimes it's a bit of a challenge to find it. And it can also be that the coins are just there to lead you in the wrong direction. This is a point where you can jump back onto the vines from the ground if you fall off. Yeah, you can't make it between spikes on both sides of these particular vines. You just have to find your way up and around, I think. So I suspect that this is the way you're meant to get past it. The spikes also can poison you. I think I was lucky this time and avoided that. But I don't know whether it's random or if it's so many hits from stuff that can poison you and then you get poisoned. But a second HP upgrade in the maze. There's a ton of stuff here if you're willing to look around for it. Which is part of why I try to leave the path to the actual King Pepper until last. Oh, coins. Because you know you have to traverse that path, so as long as you're doing other stuff, that's one thing you can't possibly miss. Now, I will head back to the left from here at some point later, because there's coins over there, you don't want to miss that. So there's the way back to level 4 in the entrance that we saw earlier, and hey, it's our first red herring pepper. The yellow pepper. We don't need that one, but there's a chest on the other side. So I'm gonna head down this way for now and come back to that level 4 entrance in a bit. That guy's not moving, so I'm gonna have to give him a spin up, take him out. And it's a locked gate. The key to that one is actually on the far side of the gate, so we won't be going through there for a while. This chest is just more coins. But I think that's all of the coin chests in the maze. I only remember there being 3 of them. And before we leave, we're going to need to head down this way, back to level 2. This is another one of those dead ends that's really easy to miss, especially if you come through that gate in level 5 from the far side. You might not come into this little dead end, and here is the blue pepper. Yeah, Elizabeth would even suggest bribing him if we already had the King Pepper, because this was the last thing that I found in my first run of this maze. It was a fair bit of damage, and it doesn't increase his rage if you use rush mode. But it also doesn't lower the rage gauge. So I gotta wait for another couple of attacks before I can smack him with a hammer again. Now, I think there's a way that you can hit them while their rage meter is going down and it won't increase. Anyway, that's the last of the peppers that we need. There are still 2 more to be found. The pepper collector already had 3 of them, one of which was actually the King of Peppers. We just need to find another one of those so that we can actually get into the volcano. So here we are back at level 4. we can see some bones, but they're just kind of there to mislead us for the moment. And this is the exit that I didn't take previously. Back to level 1. So that puts us back at the start of the bone path. Let's see if I can figure out where I went wrong along the way. Yeah, clearly I need to go down here. And then last time I went to the right, so let's go left this time. The opposite direction where the bones were pointing. And we do see some more bones along this way. I don't think there's anything I could have done to get past that fish, and I can't stop while I'm in a whirlpool to use an antidote. Let's see, let's go where the skull and crossbones are. Yeah, I did see that coin. I'll go and pick it up at some later point, I'm sure. Alright, we're safe. We can use the antidote. I've got plenty of them. Hey, it's another chest. That was really disappointing. I see. Yes, it's a fire bat, and if it hits us, I'm sure that we will be burned. Well, I'll just have to try to avoid that. Fortunately, you can parry it just like anything else. It does try to counter with a shield. Let's see if I can shoot around it. There we go. So we actually made a profit of 20 hit points from that. And it's also the other cassette tape in the caves. I think I missed that one on one of my earlier runs, too. So there's the coin. And now we'll go the direction that the arrow isn't telling us to go. Grab some more money. And finally take the correct path. Obviously, up leads to the King Pepper, so let's go every other direction first. And these are all going to just be dead ends with some stuff in them. As much as it may look like a really long path, it does just lead to a chest at the end. Hey, we found water underwater. And that's our first bottle of cold water. We can use that to cure a burn anytime that we're not actually in combat, and when we don't have a convenient pool of water to just jump into. Another magic anvil could be very handy if I find something that's tough to parry. And more money. Always nice. So finally, we'll take the proper road. Yep, we have found the path to the King of Peppers. And we don't want to miss this chest buried in the grass, even though it just has an antidote. I don't think there are any coins hidden behind any of those trees. That's alright. I can't imagine that there are too many branches from this point, because then there would be more entrances to the path than just the one that we found. I believe I can find my way there from here. I'm actually dodging those banana peels surprisingly well. And when it jumps over you, you have to remember to duck to avoid the poop. And I almost missed the other pepper that we don't need, the purple pepper. I believe this one's called the Nocturne pepper. I'll take a look at all the peppers before I actually turn any of them in. So the only thing left to do is get the actual king pepper. And here's the weird fork thing that I saw earlier. And a very short path that's all that's left of level 4, and we're in level 5. And as you can guess, this is going to be the key to that gate. And finally, the king of peppers, the one that looks like a nose. So let's go ahead and check all these things out. You got the tear pepper, that's the blue one. The thunder pepper is a green one. Nocturne pepper is the purple one. Crown pepper, no royalty though. King pepper, and the red pepper. So there was only one other path out of here. And it leads straight to the gate. So I believe we've gotten everything that exists in the jungle now, except for that one path to the left of where we first entered level 5. So we'll head out that way. Yeah, there we go. Heading to the left here, I don't need to worry about the spikes as much. Well, not such a good cause when we already have the pepper and we know why we were so close yet so far. That was a close one. Had he thrown some poop, I would have been hit. Again, I surprised myself with my prowess at dodging that time. And that last coin shouldn't be too hard to get. And we're back on the far side of level 1. I read that sign earlier, so I recognize where I am. And, oh yeah, that's right, I grabbed these coins earlier in the video, but I didn't grab them the third time that I went to fight those spiders. So now I'm pretty sure I've gotten everything that was in the jungle maze. Yep, so our road to the volcano is clear, but I think it would be better to head back to town and deposit the stuff that we've got, claim our rewards, and take on the volcano in a separate video that won't be over 40 minutes long. It's a lot easier dealing with the vines moving to the left. Just tons and tons easier. So the pepper collector was in this hut. It's hard to tell, they all look really similar. So that's the final hammer power-up. We can now stun enemies when we hit them with our hammer. And I suppose I could throw away the other 2 peppers, but it's not like my inventory space is all that limited. We'll check out our new cassettes. We got a couple of jungle tunes. This is the version that plays in the village and beach area. And the version that plays in the actual jungle. And I'll see you for the volcano next time. I've even got 2 pages of inventory now.